Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. Today I have an exciting one for you. We have a new piece of equipment on the farm. Looks very similar to the piece of equipment we had last spring. This is the RanchWorx SC 12x36. It's their new model. They've made some improvements. We'll cover some of that, but we just got it off the truck. Mason's here to help me now, so we're going to take advantage of that and get everything assembled here. So we hope you enjoy the video. Let's get this thing put together. Midway through putting it together, and I gotta say, compared to last year's model, there's a lot more pins and less bolts, which I really like. That's really handy for quick assembly or disassembly if you needed to. A lot more just big pins with cotter pins on the bottom, and I'm really liking that. And things are looking a lot heavier. So that's first impressions here so far. All right, we have it all put together. It went really smooth, went really quick. It was like we've done it before. So that was really nice and convenient, knew what we were doing. This model is different from the last model we had last year. So last year's model was an SB 12-foot by 36-inch diameter drum. And that also had the drawbar attachment. This one is the SC 12 by 36. So it's 12-foot wide, 36-inch in diameter drum. This model is very similar to the last model, but they've made some improvements. A lot of the improvements are just they built things even heavier than what they were, which, looking at last year's model, I thought it was plenty heavy, and I didn't think they could go heavier, but they did. So when it comes to longevity, I am not one bit worried about this aerator holding up. So some of the improvements they've made when it comes to the drawbar mast or bridge, that's heavier. I believe the steel in here for the lift cylinder and the landing gear, that is heavier. Like I was saying, all of the pins for holding the main pieces together, like here, there, are all heavier and beefier. And I remember the last model, there was a bunch of that were bolts instead. I really like the pin design, probably stronger, and they're easier to work with. So if for some reason I had to, say I had to disassemble it to trailer at a distance, it's gonna be even quicker and easier with this new model. And then something I really like, and that for sure is way bigger, is instead of bolts here tying the main frame to the landing gear, they're huge pins. And when I say huge, they are huge. And I like that instead of a smaller cotter pin on the other side, they have a nice bolt here to hold that main pin from sliding out. And that design will also allow that pin to rotate nice if need be. Yet it's simple, super simple. It's not a huge bolt with a huge nut on the end. I don't have to worry about the lock nut coming undone. You know, before I go and use it, I can just take a quick glance and see that my retention bolt, I guess you could call it, is still there holding my main pin in, which I don't think there was any issues with the last design back there, but it does give a guy even more peace of mind that they pretty much took the same design but made it even heavier than what it originally was. It's the same when it comes to simplicity. Very few grease points on this machine. We got one big bearing on each side of the drum down in here, and then we have greasable wheel bearings here and here. This model, I did not opt for the drawbar, but it does have the option if I want to get the drawbar for pulling attachments behind this one, I can. And like I said, I think that is built heavier with the SC, the new model that we have here. And just like the last model, they're made in the USA, especially with everything going on in the world. Living in the US, I think that's a great thing. I love knowing that they were made here. And I know what some of you are thinking and probably asking the question, Aaron, there was just a RanchWorx aerator here last fall. Why did you send that one back? Why didn't you buy that one? Why did you end up getting this one here? Dad and Hazel came to visit.
You got a controller where you can still lift it.
Yeah, she's getting a lot bigger.
It's like, I would say 70 pounds already. Whew.
What do you think of the new addition to the fleet here?
Interesting. You got a lot of interest in, you did that corn stalks. There's a few guys in our area that kind of want to really see, want to give that a whirl. You could probably get some jobs.
Yeah, so to clarify, I bought this aerator. So this is my addition to the fleet, especially now with the tractor. And we liked what we saw last year over the winter, heard about the new model and decided that it's something I wanted to invest into. I like the versatility of it. I like that we can use it on the pastures, but we can also use it in the row crop scenario, the residue control, and then also some brush management too, like you guys kind of seen at the end of the year last year. This thing can really control some underbrush, that's for sure.
I think once you do more and then people, they see it, because nobody's got this. And I think that's going to be your niche. Nobody's got this. There's only one thing I've seen that's not right, is the color. It matches my stuff, but it doesn't match yours.
Yeah, it won't quite match the Magnum perfectly, but this is, I think, RanchWorx, their colors, but I know that it is an option to get it in a different color. So
you just spray paint.
It looks nice, but yeah, with the Magnum it might look a little different paired with a John Deere. So anyways, the new model, the SC1236 is here to stay. I'm excited to show it off this year, and like Dad was saying, might find some custom work for it. Even a few guys that do have aerators around here, they do not have this kind of aerator. They have those tooth aerators, which are just not as heavy as this unit.
It's a whole different concept that there. It's more about poking holes. This is almost like
fracturing the soil.
Yeah. There's more, obviously.
There's more impact here, especially if we can time it out. If we end up having a dry summer like we did the year before we got to try out a RanchWorx, I think we'll definitely see some impact on the pastures.
Yeah, right. Like last year, it was so wet all the way until we got July or August before it really started to settle out.
So any of you local guys watching, keep that in mind if you'd ever want to see one of these in action on your farm. We got one in the area now. I do own this model, and we're going to put it to work. Any other thoughts, Dad?
There's always thoughts, I guess. Just right now, we do have a lot of pasture. Even the guy you're renting from's got some pasture. He seems to be kind of more of organic ideas, I guess you could say. He'd probably get excited too.
In our area, livestock and pasture is a need. We got to utilize that ground.
I think our government offices are going to be encouraging more of that. I mean, just the fact that cattle prices are super high tells you there's not nearly the livestock around there used to be. In this area, especially the northern half of our county, is pretty much more of a cow pasture type land than a row crop land.
Yeah, it can benefit from a lot of grasses. And this is a tool that can help those long-term grass
I
stands.
think so. It's going to be your niche. It's going to take off. You got to get in it why it's still rare.
Yeah, so we got some other work to do yet in this video, but there's a glimpse of what's to come this summer. You'll see it in action. We'll be putting out a couple videos, so there it is. Okay, so we're on to the next project, and as you guys seen when I was putting that away, I threw some grease at it quick, and that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. That was 5 Xerx I found on there, and all in easy to access spots. It's a very simple machine. There's not a lot of moving parts, and I love that about it. So, but we have that put away now. It's pretty damp out here in Wisconsin this spring. Filming this beginning of April. Hopefully within the next month here, we can start hitting the fields and get a chance to actually try that aerator out some more. But anyways, the next project here, we're trying to stock the Magnum with some tools. I brought 2 different style tool holder devices with me. I brought one hard plastic toolbox, just a cheapo that I had way back when I was in college. That didn't quite fit along the seat in here. Now I got my bigger Milwaukee bag that came with a tool that I bought in the past. That's almost a little too much. Mason, he was just down here visiting, and he thinks he has a Milwaukee bag, one of those medium-sized ones, so we're gonna try that. But while he's gone, I'm gonna show you the goodies I got for this tractor. And I'm sure any of you mechanics out there know that you can never have enough tools. So yesterday, Darby and I went on a little date and stopped at the good old Harbor Freight. And not sponsored, not a shout out, but the way I look at tools that are gonna live on a tractor is they gotta be priced to where I'm not going to be hurt or sad that I lost them in the field. Obviously, I'm going to try to avoid that. They're going to be cheap tools in this tractor. And if I have any major breakdowns, I'm going to be carrying out some nice tools or getting the tractor to a shop filled with nicer tools. But as for just small fixes in the field, I wanted to have some tools on board. So that's what we got here. This first little carrier here actually was part of that hard toolbox that wouldn't fit. Some odds and ends in there, an assortment of bolts, a lot of your common sizes, cotter pins and hairpins. We got some hose clamps, some wire and some fencing clips in the top there, some more pins there. I was able to fit the screwdrivers and a knife in there, along with some zip ties. Some of those consumable things that might save a trip. As for hand tools, got another big screwdriver slash punch slash pry bar. That actually would be something I'd want to get. I'm going to put the pins in there. I got a couple pins in the cab right now, but all the pins can be in there so they're not floating around the cab. Pipe wrench, which I don't think I'll use a whole lot, but for any hydraulic fittings, things like that. Hammer, can't go wrong with that, especially the way I like to fix stuff. A lot of brute force, not a lot of precision when you're on the go. An assortment of pliers, needle nose, normal pliers, channel locks, side dikes, crescent wrench. That's Mason's favorite tool. An assortment of vice grips.
You're back in black, baby.
Yeah, right, showing up in style. And this kit actually already came in handy. He borrowed a screwdriver off of me before he went back to the yard. Yeah, that might work. That might be just the right size to fit all the tools.
I can use it.
I'll try it out. And then the last tools I didn't show you guys is this nice set of wrenches. I'm sure you guys can relate that whenever you buy a set of wrenches or sockets, it seems like the set is never complete or is never big enough. So I found a 14-piece set all the way from, I think I'm at quarter or 5/16 all the way up to 1.125 and there's no skips in there, and it's just SAE. I don't have new enough equipment to have metrics. There are some metric bolts on this tractor, but there's the this set of tools. I was actually just telling these guys, Mason, that your favorite tools on board here. I got a crescent wrench in there in that pile of tools. Yeah.
Who needs a whole set of these when you just got one wrench that could do it all?
Do it all. That was my thought though, is that if I don't have a socket set on board, if I need, you know, to hold each side of the bolt, crescent wrench is going to come in handy, if not the vice grip. So there you go. That's the tool bag right now. We're going to try to make it fit there in the cab. Let me know what you would add, what your most important and most used tool that you have on tractors or in your truck or something like that. I'd be interested to know, what are you guys using the most of? Okay, that works really nice. That takes up a lot less room. I got my hitch extension or the top piece for bigger implements tucked behind there. Everything fit in that bag real nice. It's off to the side. It won't be sliding around the cab now. That's really nice. I was just telling Mason though, I am kind of looking like a Milwaukee fanboy in this cab, because we got our wire storage over there, and we have Milwaukee bag over here. The nice thing about this is I'll be able to just grab and go with those tools back to the implement that might be having issues. But I do want you guys to leave comments down below where you put a permanent toolbox on this Magnum. I don't want to put it on the front. I want to be able to swap weights real quick on the front. I have kind of seen them in here, but I want something big. I want something that's going to hold a decent amount of tools. So let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what you think of the RanchWorx Aerator being back on the farm. Let me know what you think of the new model. It's very small changes, but I really like what I'm seeing there. Also, spring is fast approaching, so stay tuned for our spring planting videos. As you guys seen, I got a lot in the works. We got some more ground to cover. Very excited to be hitting the fields with you guys, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to end off this video here. Remember, subscribe, share, like, leave all those comments, and we will see you all next time. Thanks for being part of the journey.